baby. That's on me, baby. These niggas be lying on me. That's on me, baby. That's on me, baby. That's on me, baby.
Yeah, what's good out there, petty sports nation? You got the Petty Sports brought to you by King Broadcasting Studios, coming to you live on this Wednesday night. We so happy and thrilled that you're here with us. Pull up a chair, get you a drink, grab you a good stick or whatever you're smoking on, and share the show with your people. Start that watch party, you know what I'm saying? I'm Mike Bell, baby. We got Petty Man behind the 1 and 2. We got Famous Fees. We got Allegra and Dwight Banks. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the building tonight, you know what I'm saying? We going in and we talking sports, you know what I mean? We got a lot of good for you. You know what I'm talking about? So stay tuned. Like I say, hit that watch party, hit them thumbs up, hit them emojis, hit that Petty Sports line, because I know you're going to want to get at us tonight, because it's just too much going on out here. You understand what I'm talking about? It's too much going on for y'all not to really get at us and tell us what you really feeling and how you think of things. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, without further ado, let me pass this on down the line to the rest of the team. And, hey, take it away, Famous Fees.
Yes, sir. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Famous Fees. We ready to kick off another one. We got a whole lot of hot topics going on because everybody been watching. Y'all already know what's happening in these streets today. We're going to do this thing. Got a live show for you today. Got the game of readers popping already. So we're going to talk about the COVID situation along with the protests. All the crazy stuff folks been saying. The whole NBA proposal. We're doing the AFC West this week in the NFL. We got UFC 250 popping off. You know, so stay tuned. We got a little MLS action popping too. I know y'all don't hear a whole lot about soccer, but we got some of everything for you. So man, go ahead and make y'all intros. We're gonna get into this thing. Get them, D-Beezy.
Oh man, welcome. Sit your behind down, because Mama Sharper said I got a foul mouth. This gonna be a whole show, and I ain't using one cuss word. I'm filth flirm free in this thing today. And come on in, like my man said, we got a heck of a show for y'all today. I'm gonna start off with a little Buffalo Trace, and hope it'll keep me down and give y'all something to sit back and laugh about. And I guarantee I'm gonna make it happen. Not one word that may offend one of these grandmamas out here, so I'm good.
Well, I'm glad to be back, everybody. Back and better.
Glad to have you back, baby. Yeah. How you been? Everything been good with you?
Everything been good. Working.
Yeah.
Business is booming. Yes.
Wow.
Working, everything. Yeah. We crowded the golf course. If y'all want to come and golf with your girl, I'm at John A. White Park Golf Course, and we're open from 8 to 7. So check us out. Check me out.
All right.
I need to come get my stroke on, man. I keep saying that I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna get into golf. And I know the finer points of it and all that good stuff, but I'm not really well versed in my swing. Could use a little tweaking, but I want to get out and start it, man. You know, just get my old man game on.
I got you.
This guy, yeah.
I got a lot of expensive hobbies because cycling ain't cheap either, man. So I might as well just add golfing into the mix.
You might as well. Your new hobby.
Yeah.
Man, so have you played against anybody famous up there, Allegra? Do you golf with anybody up there?
So I played with an actor. His name is Harold Moore. I play with him a lot. He's pretty cool.
Okay.
And I also played. Oh gosh.
I
didn't mean to put you on the spot, babe. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You know what I'm
players over there. What them players over there.
Anyways, so Eric Berry came to my job today. I think I told y'all earlier that he did. So he's pretty cool. Got a chance to meet him and talk it up. So he's pretty cool.
That's what's happening there.
No tackles, he all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's happening. Shoot. Everybody healthy out there, man. Everybody still in good health over there, Banks and Feezy.
Yeah. Oh man, we living it live. Yeah, man. I've been getting my since the quarantine. A lot of you guys don't know, I've become an executive chef over there, man. To get my stuff together.
What?
So an executive chef, my brother.
Okay then.
I've been burning over here, Chef Boy D over here. And this week, man, just the other day, I created a a favorite of mine from back in the day. You got to remember the restaurant Mixer in Atlanta. Just had this chicken and penny pasta. Man, I whip that thing up, man. It's delicious. You know, I'm quarantine ready when I come out this thing, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you know,
He
if
quarantine ready.
y'all been following the famous fees, IG, the Facebook, any of that. I know y'all seen that surf and turf. That wasn't no chef. I know folks was like, you hired a chef? Like, nah, pimp, I cooked that.
Yeah. Say, come out the quarantine with a skill set, boy.
Yeah.
You still working on your what you call that? Esthetician? What's that called, Banks? Where you do the waxing?
Esthetician. I ain't been able to find nobody that's opened the school up yet. So if y'all know anybody where your boy can learn how to go out there and be the esthetician, I want to learn how to do the bikini waxes.
All day. The eyebrow.
Y'all seen the dude on the little Instagram doing the massage that they have, nigga, with all the oil and all that? I'm doing your eyebrows and your bikini waxes like that. Gonna be called DB Snatch him and grab him.
I cannot.
Snatch it and grab him.
Hey man, snatch it and grab him, man. I'm getting you right around here for the summertime, man. I'm getting you right, brother.
My God, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you, hey, listen, fellas, you got Valentine's Day gifts you want to get to your girl. Just send you my way, man.
Man.
No way. Absolutely no way.
And you in good hands with Banks.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right, we can hear you.
I'll take your word for it.
I'll pass.
That's right. That's right.
Come on, man. Y'all want to send y'all lady to me to get a y'all will send it to the man though.
Not I, good sir.
No.
Y'all will send it to the man though.
I sent her to a female, another female. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm a professional.
I believe you are.
I have as much license as you do.
I'm actually gonna take the class fee. You just old dirty old man. You know, I'm gonna actually take the class. So you trying to tell me, Bill, if I'm a certified esthetician, you would not allow your lady to come to me to get her bikini wax?
Explain to me why would I do that?
Because it's a black-owned business, and you should be.
You know what? You know what I would do for you.
This is a sports show. We talk about.
Well, I mean, I would recommend.
Well, you can't wear a proper bikini on the beach, and while you playing volleyball, you know they wear a little tight, little short. They got to get bikini wax.
They do.
Well, you know what, Banks? What I do for you? I'm pretty sure it's a lot of guys out here that probably get it done. I send them your way. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man,
you know what I'm saying? So guys and some women, some other women, I send them your way. But for me and my
business, I just ain't sending my girl.
For me and mine, that's out, son.
Look at these hands, man.
Yeah, don't trust them.
Hand right here.
Yeah, I don't trust
quality
them.
hand, man. They strong too, man. Dig deep.
Oh man, listen to this guy. Like, yo, let's get this stuff
I
started.
cannot believe y'all are hating on a black-owned business.
Nobody hating, bro.
I support my businesses, but that one is very funny.
I'm gonna send it out there in the chat room, fellas. Can I snatch on your old lady?
I sent you a whole bunch of ladies, just not mine.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Fees.
They
Exactly.
don't trust you, Dwight, with their women. They don't trust you.
No, I got that under control. I ain't gonna let you do it.
I'm the most trustworthy guy there is.
It ain't about trust. I got that.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, we already up to our shenanigans. We going in. You know what I'm saying? Hope you had a chance to grab that cup of your favorite libation and you ready to go in with us. You know, start that watch party. If you haven't, hit the notification button and like the page. Petty Sports, Kings Broadcasting. Get at us. You know what I'm saying? We got a Petty Sports line going across your screen where you can call in and talk to us and get at us about what we are discussing. And ATL, hold back to the regular scheduled program.
So Pivotal Home, that's where you are.
That's
Marissa.
So Pivotal Home said, I cannot be snatching puss. I'm not snatching puss. I'm doing a public service out here. Because once summertime comes around, and y'all know what time it is, I want y'all to be clean, smooth, and ready to display your goods for your guy or your lady, depending upon your preference. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing a service.
I think what she's trying to say is the name, the snatch part, that's not very appealing to people because it already hurt.
So I can't call it snatch and grab.
You might have to change about the snatch part.
All right, well, give me the name then, Pivotal.
Y'all put some names in it. Put some names in the comments. Give us in the watch party.
Yeah, it is. Put some names out there, and I'll choose one from that.
Good ideas.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we gonna go ahead and get this thing started before we do too much advertising for this business that Dwight ain't started.
Right.
Crazy.
When they go,
we're gonna start from the very top. I mean, I know everybody been watching. Everybody's seen all the protests in all 50 states and over the water. It's been going on everywhere. My question to y'all, to keep this on the sports side of things, what impact, like what do you feel the impact of the professional athletes marching and protesting have to the fight to end police brutality?
They have a huge impact. I mean, for example, Colin Kaepernick, as we know, kneel for the national anthem because of the oppression of African Americans and minorities in the country. So once he kneeled, he set that trend for other athletes to follow. Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, LeBron James, they all took to action to actually support him and kneel, and some other WNBA players. So they actually have all the power, because sports, that's entertainment, and people are going to look up to their, favorite athletes, and they're supposed to be that figure, that model for us. So I feel like they have a huge impact.
Well, I agree. I totally agree. So part of that is the fans, and what's a sport without the fans, right? And when you look at it you take a polling of what the country is going through, those fans are the same ones that go out and cheer on their favorite athlete. Now it's time for the athlete to stand behind what they know is socially right, and morally right. And so, by doing that, it gives a whole lot of truth to it, because like we always say, in this country, there are a couple of things you have to have, and that's the economics or the finances, or you have to have the ability to protect yourself and have to do weaponry or whatever. So athletes control a whole lot of finances, being in the entertainment piece of it. So I like the fact that those athletes are speaking out. Steph and Aisha Curry actually joined the march today in Oakland. An amazing show, from that perspective. So I think, the longer this goes on, the more you'll start to see those individuals come out and take a stance behind, what's actually going on in the country.
Yeah. For me,
a whole lot of them come out.
What did you say, Feed?
I mean, I've seen a whole lot of them come out. From the athletes even to the owners. I saw Mark Cuban was out in the march.
Yeah,
they've been all over, man. Like you just mentioned a couple of them. You had Steven Jackson. He's a constant here lately because he was close to George Floyd as one of his buddies, and close to the family. You had Steph Curry, Clay, LeBron, all those guys stepping up, doing their part out here to be active with some of the protesters. And even Cap, the one who started it all here in the new area, if you will, in the past few years, taking that knee. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen moving forward with a lot of these athletes, because I think what you'll find mostly is some of these athletes probably share they don't share the same feelings as some of the guys that are protesting. You know what I'm saying? Like your boy Drew Brees, for instance. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get on. We ready to get on that yet?
We got a whole segment for him. We ain't there yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a lot of guys out there that won't take that opinion. So we're gonna. It may cause division, I believe. At first, people were still in the narrative from Cap and trying to distort the message, but people do understand that these athletes do have a lot of influence. So they try to co-opt the message and send it out to be something different and divisive to keep people at odds. Those in power know that division is what sells. So, I do believe athletes have a big role to play. Always have. You know what I'm saying? Back to your Ali days, you guys at the Olympics holding up the fist. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tradition. If you're gutsy enough or ballsy enough to stand forward and tall for your people and your community for what's right, it makes a difference, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Man, like it's been a major united front. I mean, like we've seen athletes all across all sports come out and show their support for the whole cause of the movement. I mean, we've seen, just like y'all named out, quite a few other folks. I mean, I've seen Dirk out there. So a couple of guys from the Celtics, I can't even remember who exactly it was. I think it was like Malcolm Brown or somebody. I can't even remember who they were. But they drove all the way to Atlanta to come out here to protest. I saw Trey Young out there. Saw Deshaun Watson out there. I mean, it's really been an outpour from all of our high-end athletes. I mean, we've had endorsements from some of everybody actually coming to stand tall just from the athlete side of this thing. So, I mean, it's really been a great thing to see. I mean, it's not stopping. They're still out here right now. It's not going to stop.
And I truly believe when you look at sports like a football or basketball, right, where the majority of your athletes are African American, and a lot of these athletes come from inner cities, right, where they've not only experienced it firsthand, but they've also witnessed police brutality. You know, they have a place where now they have a spot in their lives where they have a platform. They can utilize that platform to bring awareness to that, i.e. Colin Kaepernick utilizing his platform to do so. People want to, you know, vilify him for doing such and things of that nature, but it also brought attention to it. And had we addressed this 2 years ago, maybe this brother would have saved us. Maybe this brother's life could have been spared, you know, things of that nature. So now you really got to come to action. The world is pretty much shut down because of the pandemic that we're currently in. So now this happened. What better time to bring awareness to something when everybody's basically sitting down? So now, instead of just sitting down, you can get up, you can get active, you can get out here, and you can have your voices heard. And, you know, people talk about rioting and looting and all that. It's all part of the process. Without the rioting, without the protesting, there will be no social change. There has never been anything in this country that has ever taken place where some significant change has happened without rioting, without looting, without war. And I'm sorry, people may not agree with that stand, but you got to be heard. When people are unheard for so long, this is the result.
I mean, I had mixed feelings about it. When it first started, I was like, man, like I don't understand why they're tearing up other cities. It didn't happen there. Then as we actually saw the fallout, it was like, okay, like this is actually necessary to actually get folks to open the eyes and listen. Folks started tearing stuff up, burning stuff up. Now all of a sudden everybody's eyes are open. Now the protests have changed, the peaceful protests, because now we have your attention. So like, I think what happened in the early stages was very necessary to happen in order for folks to listen. Just like we recently heard today, they brought charges on the other 3 officers.
That's right.
I know they've arrested one of them. I don't think they have the other 2 yet. Well, from what I saw.
And upgraded the charges on Derek Chauvin to second-degree
they
murder.
upgraded him to second-degree murder, and the other ones are accessory.
Yes.
Yep, to attempted murder. I think that's what the charge was for them, the other 3.
Yes, I mean, it was very necessary for the stuff to go down the way that it went down. And I have absolutely no problem with it. I mean, for just like, it's a lot of folks is out there, like, I mean, what I've particularly heard is a lot of folks like in the Latino and Hispanic community being like, oh, like, well, we experienced, like, this isn't about you. Like, you guys have your gripes, no doubt. When it's time for you to step forward, then by all means do that. This ain't about you. Right. We're not discrediting you. It's not about you.
But it is to a degree about them as well, though, because
it is, but it isn't. There's like when we start to minimize it by
I'm not
like
minimizing
us.
I'm not minimizing it at all. I'm not grouping in the other communities. What I'm saying is, disproportionately, our brothers and sisters of color face police brutality from our local municipality. So while we bring awareness to this, because Blacks and African Americans are disproportionately featured in these killing, these senseless killing, it's going to protect the whole. It's going to protect everybody.
Yeah.
So we're not asking you to come out and say, well, hey, Hispanic lives this or so-and-so life. Hey, you understand what this cause is. You understand what this plight is. Let's get on board with it. There's no need to try to dissect it and dilute it.
That's right.
We understand. But understand right now what we got.
Yeah, police brutality is what it is, no matter what the race or color is. Like he said, disproportionately, people of color are affected more than others, but police brutality is wrong across the board. So, you know, eventually it starts out with the people of color, but hey, I'm sure there's other people out there that suffer police brutality as well. They're just not in the same numbers as our communities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like Pivotal Home said, if athletes can endorse Gatorade, they should be to endorse equality.
I agree.
That's
I
a
agree.
profound statement.
Oh, Marissa getting check her out.
Must not be on that fireball yet.
You know what? She may not be.
I promise you, man. Sometimes she amazes me like that. That intelligence be like at full tilt around that thing. She'll say some profound shit.
You go, girl.
Man, do you have that clip from First Things First with Nick Wright? Because I mean, like I could not eloquate that point any better than what he brought it out. From Monday morning, he killed it.
Yeah, I did watch it, but we didn't load it up.
I'm ready to put it on with you guys on Zoom right now, so with y'all zooming in.
Oh, okay.
Video right now.
Yeah, like man, for anybody who didn't hear what Nick Wright had to say, he's a Fox Sports analyst on First Things First. It come on at like 7:30 a.m. on the Eastern. He came in and he basically he broke the whole thing down. It was like, man, like there's two things that need to be understood with the whole movement, whether it be when you start recognizing what is actually being addressed here. It's between police brutality and white people. And him, as a white man, he broke that down better than anyone else could ever explain it. So, man, I need you to go after the show. Don't do it now. Go after the show and make sure you watch it. So, I mean, go ahead and just take a note in your phone, write it down, do something. Check out what Nick Wright had to say about it. He broke the thing all the way down.
Yeah, it was it was like more like a Dear White People letter, if you. That's the way I took it.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? And he really went in. Yeah, he didn't hold no bars, man. It was a no holds barred conversation he was having, and I really respected him for that. You know what I'm saying? He hit it right out the park.
He might be one of my new favorite analysts after he came through with that. I'm like, okay, like I got nothing but love for Nick, even though he's a super Kansas City Pat Mahomes fan. Wow. I ain't mad at him.
At least he like winners. That ain't too bad. But yeah, he went in, man. I enjoyed it actually.
Say for you Falcon people, huh?
There you go. I knew it was coming. We too far. Well, we 22 minutes in, and he finally said something. That's a record. That's a record.
I mean, this ain't about you.
That's the personal record.
Well, you just made about us like you always do. You find a way to shank a nigga.
You don't see that up there? 2016?
You always find a way to shank somebody.
If I'm full screen right now, then you can see that banner. That one is y'all.
Yeah, our equipment start acting up when when it starts, you know what I'm saying, trying to cue in all that stuff, man.
We don't mess around and blank him all the way out. Just give him a black screen.
Oh, no, you can't blank me out, but I got plenty more to say. I'm like, we got 1 minute until we take this good jump shot like we do every single day. So we're not even moving topics. We just have more to talk about on this topic.
Yeah.
I mean, before we shift gears into the jump shot we're going to take and then get right back into it, your fellow NFC South guy, Drew Brees, had the audacity to come out and say that he doesn't agree with anything that's disrespecting the flag in response to players kneeling during the 2020 season during the anthem.
What?
You can't be serious. Who does PR for Drew Brees?
Well, what happens during this COVID situation? That everybody get that Zoom in. Your PR person not sitting there in front of you. They didn't screen the call, and all of a sudden your mouth get to running, and boom, you put your foot in. You put the proverbial football in your mouth.
He need to be smacked on the back of his neck. But before we smack him, we got to get our. It's 8:24. We got to get it.
3, 2, 1. Kobe. Every week, ladies and gentlemen, we pay respects here on Petty Sports to the Black Mamba at 8:24. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to Kobe. May he rest in peace.
Never forget. Man, this guy, Drew, I don't know what prompted him. He's sitting up talking about, he's reminiscing like, oh, yeah, like my grandfather fought in World War II, and it's how every time I hear the national anthem and put my hand over my heart, just paying respects to him. But, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with the flag at all. Like, how did you feel when you watched the protest right here in Atlanta in front of the CNN Center and seen two of your fellow white folks hold that flag that says "Stop killing black people," and then they burnt it? They set the whole thing on fire. You had a problem with that? Because they burnt the flag. You talking about disrespecting the thing? Nobody had any issue with them burning the whole flag on national TV during the protest.
Right.
Why? Because it was them that did it?
Right.
But here's the other piece of that, Steve. They talk about this with people disrespecting the flag. Do you not realize that every time you carry that flag onto the field and it's not hoisted up vertically to fly horizontally or perpendicular to the ground, it's a disrespect to the flag. Every time you see somebody trotted out with a flag bikini on, that's a disrespect to the flag. It's actually against the law. But yet y'all don't focus on that. It brings me to tears. We stand united. My grandfather, my great-grandfathers fought for this country, and when they came back, we look at it so proud. Well, did your grandfather and your great-grandfather stand up for those same African-American soldiers that came back to this country and were still second-hand citizens after they risked their lives for their freedom? No, they didn't. And so for you to sit there on your high horse and to carry on like that, Drew Brees, you are an unadulterated idiot. And you know better, but it shows who you really are.
I think you said a mouthful, Banks. I really appreciate you saying that, man, because in saying what you just said, people that fight for this country and have laid their life on the line over the years and decades, centuries, part of the whole deal is you fight for freedom and having the freedom to say what you want, freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? That you have that right here in these yet to be United States of America. And people carrying on the way they do about the whole thing, saying you're disrespecting the flag, just goes to prove it. You don't have it's not a one-way street. You get to control the narrative and say, hey, this is the only way you can protest, and it's about the flag if you do it any other way. No. See, that's that white supremacist mindset that they've just gotten drunk on over the centuries, man, 400 years worth. They think when you protest, they get to dictate how you do it. They get to tell you how long, where, and all kind of stuff, man. No. That's not how this works. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be peaceful. Okay, that shit didn't work for Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Then you out there, you got your radicals, you Malcolm X's and everybody else, you know what I'm saying? That shit, it didn't work once. So what works? You know what I'm saying? Either way of the spectrum, nonviolent or violent, you guys don't agree with it, but all they want to do is control the whole narrative and tell people what they can and can't do when it comes to protesting and standing up for what they believe. Now, if you don't agree with what I believe, that's a whole nother topic. But you can't tell me I'm within my rights as a citizen of the United States to go out and protest peacefully. I'm taking a knee. I'm not rioting. I'm not going downtown causing a ruckus. But what I am doing is bringing attention to the cause of police brutality against people of color mainly. And I don't think a lot of these Anglos really appreciate that fact, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad to say, but you know what I mean? Drew Brees, I think it's going to cause a rift.
Anglos.
It's going to cause a rift in the locker room, I believe. Malcolm Jenkins, 11-year vet in the league, came out and on social media and said Drew Brees need to shut the fuck up. He said, I respect you. No, I used to respect you as a player, and I looked up to you, but you need to know how to shut the fuck up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And the other players Michael Thomas, a lot of players on the team. LeBron got at him. So he's garnering a lot of negative. He's garnering a lot of attention today with that darn tweet statement that he made about the flag. And it has nothing to do with the flag or the anthem. And if you want to talk about the anthem, shit, if you look at the original damn words to the anthem instead of the shortened version, they really went in on us about black people.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't have it both ways.
We can't call him Bobby Bell no more.
Hey, man. People you got to educate yourself out here, man. These people try to control the narrative on you, man, and just paint the picture how they want it to be. If you don't know any better, you'll fall for the fugazi every time. Don't fall for the fuckery, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up for what's right and be an American citizen like you're supposed to. Stand up for what you believe is right.
He said that, Mama Sharper, not me.
Yeah, I'm passionate today, Miss Sharper.
She came on and said to tell you, she said thank you.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm a little passionate today, Miss Sharper, so please forgive my language as well. You know what I'm saying?
You filth, Michael.
I
man.
mean, they just do it to me every time, man. And Drew Brees, like I said, I hope it caused a rift in the locker room. That'd be one down that we don't have to deal with this season. You know what I'm saying? They mess around, them linemen get pissed off at him, let them defensive players get back there and hit him. Jameis will be up next.
It's funny how you say that because, like Michael Thomas, arguably one of the better receivers in the league, not just in the NFC South, but one of the better receivers in the league. His go-to guy is now coming out like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I don't care what he said.
Yeah, like I don't care. Like that still doesn't. You don't have to agree with us. Like now, dude, you got to get in this locker room, and these cats, these young cats, majority black locker room that you have, got to sit there and you got to look in their face. That you got to answer to this, and they're gonna call BS on it.
Yeah. And I think it's a culture in the NFL overall, man, because I haven't heard any owners in a significant way in unison or as the NFL as a whole speak out on this, period.
Well, just as you say that, let me pause you right quick. Sherella Davis in my watch party literally just posted a comment, says a statement from New Orleans Saints owner Gail Benson. Say there are no written words that can properly honor the life of George Floyd. We stand against police brutality in any form. Statements or words, unified actions towards a solution is what needs to come from this now. So
that's
the
all
Saints
right.
Owner had to come out and speak on it.
That's all
after
right.
this idiot that's been her quarterback for so long.
Yeah,
came out and just like he put the team in a bad spot.
Emmanuel Sanders shaking my head, ignorant.
Now we know how he really feel though. We had an idiot. We had an idiot on the Falcons.
Wide receivers are like, oh my god.
Yes.
What's that idiot on the Falcons last week that made that comment? Some kind of
Caleb McGarry
made a racist tone type comment. And I didn't hear our ownership or anybody from our front office come out and say anything.
He did. Arthur Blank. Yes. Arthur Blank did. What
did he say, Bank? Because I know you tweeted them as well.
Well, yeah, I did. He actually made a statement stating that he was with solidarity with the people and the citizens here in Atlanta. He backed the movement behind George Floyd and so forth. So he did.
Okay.
But it was again, you're playing. What's my girl name from Show Scandal? You playing Olivia Pope because these dumb A professionals don't understand that you gotta stop running your mouth about stuff you know nothing about, that you have not experienced. And the minute you try to inject yourself into a situation where you feel like you know what a certain segment of people have gone through, or it's bad but it ain't that bad, or y'all ain't you show your true colors.
Yeah.
See, it's called cognitive dissonance. And that simply says that you know better, yet you don't choose to do better.
SAT word.
If you go off and say, hey, what my mama, my granddaddy, my grandfather, my father told me in the past about the way African-American people of color have been treated or have been done was wrong. They were all part of that problem. And it's okay to say that. It's ways that we look at our parents and say, well, our mama whooped us on the littlest stuff. That really ain't the way you raise your kid. That's okay. It's okay to say that your parents had it wrong, that they weren't the stand-up guy that you thought your granddaddy was. He wasn't a man's man that stood on his own. No, he was a tool and a part of a system that oppressed other people, and he was too much of a coward to open his daggone mouth. See, Mama Sharp, I didn't cut. So again, I tell y'all this. You look at cats like Drew Brees in the comfort of their white skin and their white privilege, and they're afraid to speak out. He's a coward. He's a coward. You can call your granddad and your pawpaw, say they were wrong. Your thought process behind something was just off base. These people are not 3/4 of a person. They don't have a smaller brain. They're not just for manual labor. They were freaking wrong, and say it.
Well, if he feels that way, maybe he would, but maybe he don't feel that way, Banks. You know what I'm saying?
You're way too intelligent not to know better. See, you know better.
You might know better, but that don't mean you feel differently about it.
So when you know better, you're so afraid to go against what you've been taught because you feel like, well, it doesn't affect me. See, that's the problem with it. See, you know better. He understands he know better. He's just too much of a coward to speak out against it.
Well, you won't get no argument from me. I'm not standing up for that guy at all. You know what I'm saying? I it's so many elements to this movement that's going on, man. Even the way it's affecting sports in general, because you got your fans that are on both sides of the issue. You know, they don't want to tune in to shows to hear about or go to sporting events to see protests going on, whether they're silent or not. That's not why they're into this. You know what I'm saying? But what they have to realize is a lot of these players come from the same communities where people are being brutalized by the police. Police brutality is taking place. So they feel
like Steven Jackson knew
yes,
George Floyd.
yes, they feel compelled and obligated. They've been silent too long, maybe they feel, but they feel compelled and obligated. These are the new wave, new generation of athletes, man. They think way differently. You know what I'm saying? So, they, like I said, they feel compelled to speak on these issues that affect them in such a way, whether it's directly or indirectly. Hey, I'm going to lend my voice to this because, hey, that's my partner's brother, or that's my cousin. Oh, I knew him. We grew up together back in the day. Or we went to, you know what I'm saying? There is a relationship. So you can't expect these players to go out, you know what I'm saying? You can cheer for them as long as they're playing for your favorite team, running up and down the field or a court somewhere. But as soon as you leave the field, you want them to shut up and dribble. No, they have an activist mindset today because this is going on way too long and it's overdue. People are shouting for prison reform and police reform all over the world, man. I don't know if you saw Houston, 60,000 people strong. Paris, I mean, probably very similar numbers. New Zealand, they're coming out all over the world protesting against what has taken place with George Floyd. And these guys not going to shut up and dribble. The evidence is just too overwhelming. You got video camera footage now. So where you wanted to deny it, back in the day, they just talking, what did he do? Like you said earlier, Bank, he must have did something to cause the officers to react in such a way. But no, it's on footage from beginning to end. You get to see it firsthand.
On that specifically.
Unarmed people being killed in police custody. And it's over, man. People are fed up with it. And if you don't take notice and try to be a part of the solution, this is what the new norm will be until things change. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, it's done. It's 400 years of oppression, man. This shit, it's time. Excuse me. Sorry, Mama Raphael. But hey, it's just, like I said, I'll get a little passionate, man. But this 400 years of oppression, man, it's way overdue, and it's time for us to start stepping up, man, and doing something about it. I'm going to a rally tomorrow, man. Me and my youngins, we going downtown and protest and be a part of some of this, man, so I can get them, you know what I'm saying, involved in how to, you know what I'm saying, stand up and be a part of making a change, So, history being made, learning how to be a part of history.
See what happens with the Saints next season going forward, just as of what Drew Brees came out. He might have really created some type of divide in the locker room. And even on top of that, you might end up seeing an offensive lineman missing a block.
Yep.
And letting Drew Brees get his block knocked off.
Yep.
And letting Jameis Winston come in because they got a black quarterback sitting behind him, just like Teddy B was sitting back there.
That's right.
Jameis is sitting back there, and they're like, hey, that man threw for 5,000 yards last year.
That's right.
He could blaze it up with this offense, like with this receiving core.
That's right.
They might just let him come through and sit Drew down again. Like, hey, you don't ride with us, we don't ride with you. We ain't blocking for you.
There is definitely a rift because I didn't hear Drew Brees come back with a statement. You know what I'm saying? It took the owner. Where's Drew Brees' statement? I'm not aware if he released one or not.
You already know his publicist is looking to spin this thing, and it's going to do the 45 thing, where it's not what I meant. And maybe I misspoke earlier, but it's still my sincere apology that's not He'll do like Dak Prescott. Shout out to Dak Prescott for donating $1 million,
Yes,
$1
sir.
million
Yes, sir.
to this thing. He's gonna come back and try to throw some money at it. It does not change the fact, brother. That's what's in your heart. We know it. And so when one of these dirty birds knock your block off, and because it's coming, that's for George Floyd, and push your head into that turf. You know it's coming.
That's right.
It's coming.
That's right.
You know who he plays against week 1? Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, it's coming.
Ooh, wee.
Jason Pierre-Paul. They coming for you.
Woo.
Understand it's coming.
They might take a fine for that hit.
Yeah.
They might take a fine for that one.
You know Sue will take it. That dude was like a serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
man.
I was scared to interview him. I'm like, man, I ain't asked you nothing. I was like, no, I don't want to talk to him. This is crazy.
Yeah,
So
man.
you already know it's coming, man.
Hey,
so at the end of the day, you know, it's just way too much of a dummy move.
And to kind of touch on what we were talking about a little earlier about athletes being part of the solution, perhaps, you know what I'm saying? Can they make a difference in this historic moment in time? I believe they can, and I believe these networks can make a big difference as well by showing more diversity with their panels and analysts, people of color and so forth, to help direct the narrative instead of it being so one-sided. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have people on these networks to, hey, give that balance, and all you hear is, oh, these guys are standing up against the flag and the anthem, people tend to buy into that. And you don't have enough voices to drown it out to say, no. Now, you got some people that are just not going to believe it one way or the other. You know, you can't, ignorant people are ignorant people. They're going to believe what they want to believe. But some people have a hard time thinking for themselves. So they need that balance for people to say, hey, no, that's not what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? They're actually kneeling for a cause, a legitimate cause. So maybe back up, pump your brakes, and understand what's really going on before you just go in and start speaking negatively about what's taking place.
So speaking of that, let me ask you guys this question. You know, it was reported that Drew Brees was in a heavily contested bidding war between ESPN, NBC, and also CBS for being an analyst once he retired. NBC actually ultimately wanted the terms of the contract weren't disclosed, I don't believe. But do you guys feel that this is going to affect NBC moving forward with Drew Brees and so on and so forth?
I mean, every network is going to be very cognizant of who it is that's representing them, who they're putting forward, and what message they're putting out there. If our entire community as a whole is like, no, we don't rock with Drew Brees, which that is exactly what should happen from this point moving forward. So, I mean, like, I don't want to hear anything else Drew Brees has to say. I don't want to hear him on the TV. Like, you talking craziness, talking about your grandpa and disrespecting the flag. You're way off base from anything that's going on right now. Right. If he's on, I'd be like, yo, like, is there a way we can watch this without you?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna watch the game, but I don't want to hear, like, I might watch the game on mute. Like, we going in on him
all day long.
Yeah.
And that's part of it, though, right? You got to do it.
I believe NBC should pump their brakes and reevaluate what's going on. I'm sure they're going to try to give him some kind of out to save himself, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of the team. But like you say, with his publicist and his A&R team, that will make a big difference moving forward, ultimately, how he handles it and the statements he makes moving forward and how that locker room this season reacts to Drew Brees.
That's what I mean. Step one is going to be the ownership, right? The ownership would typically come in and say, hey, you know, they made the statement today, right?
Yep.
Then they're going to go and find some black athlete to say, hey, you know what Drew meant in his heart. I need y'all to come out and do a press conference about this, stand in front of the people to shield Drew. Then Drew will come out and say his little part. It's tiered. It's going to be tiered now. Because it's not so much that he going to come out and say, now we got to show that our locker room is not dysfunctional. We have solidarity within the locker room. So they got to find somebody much like Dak Prescott did when Jerry Jones made the statement, if you kneel, find another job. They got to find that. So when they find that guy, Michael Thompson already came out and said what he had to say.
Yeah.
you know,
Emmanuel Sanders too.
Emmanuel Sanders already
Yes,
came
sir.
out and said, yeah, so you can scratch them.
Malcolm Jenkins. So I want to know who's going to be the one to be considered the sellout in this no justice, no peace era to make a statement on his behalf. That's a tall order right now, man.
The Saints locker room that actually has a big enough voice to speak on Drew's behalf. Like Drew is the only person going to be able to dig himself out of this hole.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to get somebody of color to stand with Drew. Like we stand with somebody's got to stand with Drew. Cause don't nobody stand with Drew. Drew might have well withdrew himself from this.
All he's got left is Alvin Kamara, and I don't think he's coming out to say anything.
Alvin Kamara got gold teeth from North South. You can cancel
He
that.
ain't riding with you, Drew.
Cancel that. You can cancel that. Hey, that boy from
Lost
North.
the locker room, pimp.
Yeah, it's a rap. Hey, it's a rap on that.
It's gone.
Hey, Kamara,
Yeah.
Kamara actually tweeted after that junk came out. All they said was "oops."
Yep.
Oh well, lost him too.
Yep.
You have nobody else.
That's it.
Yeah. So I mean,
What
at
happened
the
to the
end of
Lakers?
day,
She just dropped that altogether.
Well, I don't know. Might be having telephone issues.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just, I don't see that being, a situation where he's going to be able to bounce back from it without a heavy PR campaign and some money out of his pocket.
Oh, it's gonna have to be a lot of both, and I don't know if any of that is gonna be enough.
Yeah, and not in my eyes anyway. Like,
No.
Cat,
Like some of you Saints fans, I need y'all to weigh in. I see Combre in here. She diehard Saints fan. What you think about this?
Yeah. Hey, how
I
about
would love to hear that.
Banks,
Yes.
you want to give a shout out in the chat room? You and Thieves, man, who in the chat room tonight?
Oh yeah, man.
Or
I got
your
all
watch
kind of people
parties?
in there, man. Like I got Combre in here. My man Wes Walker in this joint.
Wes
Terry
Welker, the
Carter
real
in
Wes
here.
Welker?
No, I said Wes Walker, not
Oh,
Welker.
Walker. But I'm about to say you international.
Oh yeah, Wes Walker, like the Patriots be watching me. You know what I mean? I know these guys. My man, another way in there. Elaine Long in this camp. My sister Monica on. George Thomas. What else we got in here? Sharella's in there. Taj Brayboy in the joint. Marlon is on this bad boy. Jennifer Torres. Angela Scott, Cowboy fan. Jamila.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. We got Chicago in our house. My main man, Statman, Almanac Jack. Like, we got a gang of people in. Tim Sims, Paul, Martin, everybody in the house.
That's right. Who you got over there, Banks?
They got Cordero White checking in. D. Jerome Sanders, my DFW people checking in. YPK, DeAndre Graham checking in. Tripolar Tan. Thanks for sharing the stream too. Love J-Bo, our guy for the No Name the Podcast is checking in. Yes. Let's see what we got. Pivotal Homes is checking in. Our girl.
Yeah.
Our girl.
And this is go ahead, Banks.
Sam Ogaday is checking in this thing as well.
All right.
Sanders DFW is checking in. James Dockery. JD, what it do, Playboy? DeMario Lilly, a.k.a. one half a watch for the hood.
Yeah, our country kinfolk on deck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is for you guys out there that's tuning in and started that watch party right here. Hey, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? You could have been anywhere else in the world tonight, but you right here at the table with the Petty Sports team and crew making it do what it do. Don't be afraid. You see that number going across the bottom of the screen. You know what I'm saying? 678.
871.
9602.
678-871-9602. You know what I'm saying? Call in and talk about it. What say you? You know, I know you have a lot of feelings and emotions just like we do. Please do share. You know what I'm talking about? ATL, Hope.
Allegra waiting to get in. Allegra waiting to be pushed back in.
We coming right back on. We still on the same topic, baby. We gotta talk about my man Colin Kaepernick now. I mean, you see, I just fixed me up a fresh new J Marita.
What is it
Right
called,
there on
V?
campus.
What is it called, V?
It's a J Marita.
Hey, yeah.
I showed you the ingredients, and bam.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
finished product.
I like the
J. Marita.
color on that right there, man. That's nice.
Yeah, so that's what you wanted to look like.
That's
right there.
real nice right there. Hey, and if
Yes, sir.
Jameson, if you watching or any representatives from Jameson, please get at us. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for sponsorship, if you will, to help out with the show and help bring these great topics and these great personalities to the people out here, the Petty Sports Nation. You know what I'm talking about? So get at us. www.kingsbroadcasting.com. Get at us in the email over there. Inbox one of us, Mike Bell, baby, or Petty Man. You know what I'm saying? We on deck, and, you know, we can talk some numbers. You know what I'm saying? Help make you famous. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so
your boy
Cap.
Fee.
Yeah, so you talking about
Check it
Cap?
out, man. The NFL execs have come out now and they're saying that it's now okay to sign Colin Kaepernick. They're trying to push to get some NFL team, if they wish to do so, to sign Colin because they admit now that they were wrong for maybe blackballing him. And now they're like, okay, like we're gonna bring him in. I mean, that's a super PR move. They say before in 2016, because yes, this was 4 whole years ago. It was like it was bad PR to bring Colin on to any squad, but now that they understand that what Colin was pushing for is what the whole nation is on, like it would probably be an awesome PR move for the NFL to sign Colin to somebody's team. It was like, man, you can miss me with that. I mean, it'd be cool if Colin gets on a squad, but who's gonna sign him? I know I seen reports being like, yeah, it would be great if the Patriots signed him. The Patriots ain't got no money, and if you go into New England, then he's got to talk. Folks are gonna interview Colin, and that's been a staple of New England for the past 20 some odd years, where their players don't talk. Colin can't come into New England and come in and start talking and speaking about the movement and everything else. You go to New England and you do shut up and play. I mean that's what the Patriot way is. I mean that's how that works. I mean, it doesn't fit there. If he goes to Jacksonville, he'd go in that joint. Their team is trash, so they'd be like, "Oh, they're losing. He's not gonna have a winning record. It's not gonna look good." I mean, I think the only place that could actually facilitate bringing Colin in and he'd be successful is if Denver signed him, which is the same team that should have signed him
in the first place
earlier. He was supposed to go to Denver back in 2016, and they still need him. I mean, outside of Denver, I don't really see a situation working for him, and I think it's really just a straight-up PR stunt by the NFL to act like, oh, now we want Colin in the league.
Did I misunderstand the article? Because when I read it, I interpreted it as the guy was saying, I forgot his name, he was saying NFL teams already had the green light to hire them if they wanted to. Maybe not like it just surfaced that they could, but all along they could. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they were trying to smooth it over in such a way, but like you said, I believe it's a big PR move because we mentioned on the No Name Podcast show, what they realize now, Cap was on to something the whole time. They knew it. They just didn't want to admit it. But Cap is sitting in the driver's seat right now, at least publicly being the face in part of this movement in the sports community anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're understanding now in a brighter light that's been shed on it, police brutality does exist, especially for people of color. And so taking that silent protest and the knee during those games, along with the other players that joined in, it was real. Had nothing to do with the anthem. Had nothing to do with the darn flag. This is taking place. You see it. You can't deny it. It's on film. It's on video. And these guys are now having to take that perp walk. You see what I'm saying? I think that's a big, big deal in all of this. But Cap, being the face of the movement in part on the sports side of it, I think he's been vindicated. You know what I'm saying? For the people that didn't believe and didn't want to believe, and they still may be in denial, you know, but it's hard to deny what your eyes see. You're watching unarmed people of color get blasted down while in police custody, male and female alike. You know what I'm saying? Without these guys having punishment. We had an instance here in Atlanta with these guys, 6 officers that they finally ultimately arrested for tasing college students that were just coming from getting something to eat after the curfew had started. Maybe about 30, 40 minutes after the curfew started, the cops pulled those guys over.
No, that's a horrible example, bro.
But
I mean, I've dug into that, man. And
but it's
I think that whole Atlanta dropped the ball on that one. Them kids didn't do what they were supposed to do. What you got the DA talking about that a taser is deadly force. He is politically pushed. The pressure's on, and you don't indict somebody that's under investigation with the agency like that. They jumping the ball.
What? They want
they
guy
ain't
what?
get mud in their face, bro.
This is what I believe from what I've seen and read. Those kids were coming from getting something to eat. Now, Keisha had just put that darn curfew out like 15, 30 minutes before 9 o'clock. So if you were out, how would you get the message about a curfew taking place? They were coming from
the time. I mean, that doesn't justify it at all.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
I didn't know about it.
But if you were already out,
everybody didn't even get the memo.
That's what I'm
some people
saying.
Said they got the message in their phone, didn't come to my phone.
Exactly.
I just was like, oh wait, we on a curfew? Like, when did that happen?
That's the point I'm making. These kids driving through the darn downtown area and got stopped. What they were doing initially, they saw the cops engage with somebody and they stopped to film. And the cops told them to leave. And while they were pulling off, one of the officers said, hey, man, they were filming us. So they stopped them again, and that's how the whole thing got started, to where they tried to they busted the window in the car and tased those kids.
Tased them through the window.
You know what I'm saying? So that was big. And like Keisha said, it was excessive.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Petty Man made this statement that they're going to get, pie in the face. 2 of the officers got fired after reviewing from the mayor and also the chief of police.
The rest got fired since.
Yeah, they got fired since. But I mean, overnight, 2 of them got fired. Now, with that being said, the chief of police, the sheriff, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong in this, but in that room, it was probably the person that's on the police review board, everybody else to make sure the HR for the police department, however, whatever that phrase is, everybody looked at it and said, hey, to the letter of the law, this here is excessive and it's a terminatable offense. They didn't just do it off the rip. So now they did that. Now they gets terminated. Now the DA now comes in with a swift action because I do agree with you partly. This isn't the election time. So now he's trying to, hey, I bring forth cats who do police brutality. I got a strong stance against police brutality. It can be a platform to run against. Because never in the history of Atlanta have they ever prosecuted a cop brought up charges that quick on somebody that just recently got fired 48 hours earlier. But it happened. All right, so cool. I think from that point of it, it's going to send a clear-cut message that, hey, this is now at the forefront. The other part of that, I think, how you get rid of this thing is, and nobody's talking about it, is this. See, the police has this huge multi-million retirement fund. That police retirement fund is there because these cats risk their lives day in and day out, yada, yada, yada. I agree with that. But when they go out there and bust somebody head to the white meat, use excessive force and and it's caught on video and you know what it is, there's no reason for your city or your municipality and the taxpayer have to pay that. You start taking that trash out of the police retirement fund, that blue code of silence will soon shut it down. You get a multi-million-dollar hit, and the jokers that have been on the job 25 years now expecting X, Y, and Z said, well, no, you just got cut by $100 because we had to pay out Officer Jones over in the 5th precinct, Jokers will start coming out talking about it. So you'll stop all this covering up crap. You'll stop all this because the city gonna cover it. So now, okay, well, you steal this, that, and the third, and you good. Nah, you start hitting it where it hurt at, it'll stop.
Yeah, I want to take a moment to I want to say something about one of the guys in the chat room. He gave us a big prop shout out, man. Escobar Geronimo. He said, every time I watch this show, it gets better and better. Keep it up, guys. I'm not sure who he is, but thanks, man. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Esco. His name Esco. I rocks with him.
Oh, okay.
Esco Geronimo. Like, he got two rebel names.
I'm a big Nas fan. Mike Geronimo.
Yeah.
I rock with you.
The real Geronimo was, we'll talk about that later.
Geronimo Pratt.
No, well, not even that Geronimo. Geronimo from the Spanish and Indian War, man, and the Alamo.
Oh, okay.
Whole thing. We do the history lesson later on about that.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I just look at it, man. It's unfortunate. I think, there are going to be a lot of good cops that get caught up in this.
Yes.
It's almost like you lay in the bed you've made. Unfortunately, a lot of good cops have turned a deaf ear to some of the bad cops that are out there. And this is what you kind of get. You know, is it unfortunate? Yes, it is. Will somebody get caught up in the fray? Yes, they will. But just like you ask citizens to come out and speak out against people in their neighborhood that's doing wrong, how can we as citizens trust you when you guys won't speak out against the ones on your force that's doing just as wrong? That's the problem. That's the disconnect. When you take away the ability to properly police a segment of society because you want to feel like you heavy-handed, you want to feel like you got some sense of ownership over or overseer. You're an overseer basically of these people versus protecting and serving. See, in a community of color, unfortunately, we don't see police as individuals that serve us. We only see them as individuals that try to enforce their will upon us, and that's the issue.
Yeah,
and it got to change.
I saw the interview with Paul Howard today, and they asked him why did they, because you had some people trying to jump on him about jumping to conclusion. He was like, look, the mayor and police, he wasn't the one that started it. He said the mayor and the chief of police were the first ones to come out and say that these guys were excessive, and after he viewed the tapes and for himself, him and his team, they decided that these guys broke the law. Like you said, Sunday, Banks, had this been 3 months ago, this probably wouldn't have even taken place, wouldn't have been an issue. Those guys would still be on the force with very little reprimand. But now, with this no justice, no peace going on over the George Floyd incident and Aubrey case here in Georgia, they're victims because you can't have, because on one hand, what the argument was, now you want to make these black guys the face of police brutality here in the city. And that wasn't fair. And people were like, no, I mean, Paul Howard was like, no, that's not what we're doing at all. First of all, these guys broke the law. That's why I'm involved. And he said it would be hypocritical for us to be complaining about police brutality if it's only just white people committing the brutality. These guys did something ill-advised, and they're going to have to answer for it in the court of law.
Unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. The timing of it and all that was screwed up for them. You know what I'm saying? And for the don't want to downplay the kids, the Morehouse and Spelman kid, but you know what I'm saying? This is what it is right now. They just picked a bad time to be doing some foolishness, getting out of order on the streets with all those cameras, man.
Right, and they had the camera. Go ahead.
Like, it really is just on some. Folks really have to understand just how serious this is, as far as how we feel when we see them. Everyone doesn't have that same feeling. When you see the blue lights get behind you, like, we don't even have to see the lights. If you see them on the side, you see them pull out. The level of anxiety that we go through.
PTSD, baby.
Yes, sir.
Like, I be about to piss myself in the car. Like, oh my God, I didn't do anything. I don't have any drink.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Like, all of my papers are good. Like, please, Jesus Christ, don't stop me. Like, you don't know if it's gonna be like, oh my God. Like, I hope all I get is a ticket.
Yeah,
like,
PTSD, baby.
You'd be like, man, like, you either gonna go to jail, you might get beat up, you can get shot. You don't know what's gonna happen. We be so scared.
Exactly.
Every time you see them.
That's right.
And you gotta, and when you're raising young men, you know, like I have an athlete that's going on his way to college, 6'3", you know, this, that. Hey man, I have to have that talk. He just came in, his little buddy just signed a record deal. They going over here to Fridays over here and hire him to have some dinner and celebrate. I had to have a talk with him like, hey, yada, yada, yada. Listen, I shouldn't have to do that.
That's right.
And then, you know, in our neighborhood, in our community here, I still got to now, you know, hey, you make it all right. You did this. He's just going 2 miles up the road. Like, that's the fear that you have as a parent.
Yeah.
You know, because you got a kid that, you know, and I ain't saying that because he's 6'3", but it's because there's somebody that's going to pull up on him that's going to be intimidated and feel like they're at a disadvantage because this kid is X, Y, and Z. And if you don't know, the kid ain't been in a fight in high school. But that ain't got nothing to do with the way you look at him and how you view him.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid of it. So that's the reality of this thing. Just like you know, the parents and the family of the kid that was from Chicago that graduated from Morehouse. His auntie started tweeting out to Keisha Lance Bottom like, we did not send our kid from Chicago to Atlanta for this to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the power of social media at that point. Like, please do something about this.
That's right. And Fees, I totally agree, man. You know, the Europeans, they don't feel that way when they get pulled over. You know, they think they might get a ticket or they might get a warning or such. But for us,
the cops out.
They get to cuss the cops out and give them the blues, man. And the cops seem to just like, okay, yes, sir, ma'am, we work this out and blah, blah, blah. But for us, the shoe on the other foot, we sweating bullets, you know what I'm saying, shitting bricks, like trying to figure out, I just want to leave alive. You know what I'm saying? With a reasonable portion of my health and make it home to my family. That's a whole different ball of wax that these our two communities deal with. And it's real.
And don't get it to a point where we want to challenge them or just say, well, why are you doing this? Oh man, you breaking out windows. I guarantee you, had that been a white couple in that car.
That's right.
They did everything in the world except hit that window.
That's right.
In the club.
They would have told.
Hit it at the top. Hit it at the top. Hit it.
Yep.
They would have did everything in their power.
Yep.
To make that thing go smoothly. I've seen way too many incidents where that has been the case. Where I've seen, white women basically jump on cops. They won't even get tased. Pull out this weapon. They won't get tased. I saw a cop back up from a dude with a knife, and he basically started chasing the cop, and the cop started running because he's a white guy.
Yep.
But now, black guy, you mess around, got a cell phone in your hand, pop, pop, pop.
Quick. And you know what else those officers did, man? Here in Atlanta, they yelled gun.
Gun.
They yelled gun.
That ain't standard protocol.
And there was no weapon in the car at all. And so what else showed up on that video footage was one of the officers that questioned the guy after it was all over. He was like, hey, man, what was that all about? I don't even know what happened. He was like, man, they had a gun. So he lied twice.
Yeah, no gun.
Even after the incident was over, he lied twice about the gun, and there was no weapon. So, I mean, I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all.
Hey, man,
it takes a lot to make them understand. I mean, like I was literally having this conversation with one of my good friends, like one of my white friends. I was actually talking to him and his dad. So I mean, this is an older white guy, like avid Trump supporters. We were sitting there, we was having this whole conversation just about this whole situation because it was some years ago when it started in the beginning, like around like when Colin Kaepernick, like about 4 years ago. I was over there and we were talking about this, and I was like, bro, how many times have you ever had to sit and talk to your son or your daughter and listen, like, and watch them cry, not wanting you to leave the house? Like, my daughter cried because she didn't want me to get in the car because she's like, but I don't want you to die. Because if you drive, then they might shoot you because you're driving. Really? It's like, you don't have to have those kind of talks with your kids.
Right.
Like, this life ain't the same.
That's right.
Like, you live in a different bubble. You don't have to experience this. You don't have to have these kind of conversations with your kids. You don't have to have this same fear for your own life. Like, it's not the same. And he just sat there and he looked at me like, damn. Okay, you're right. Like, he had like a moment of reckoning, like, oh shit.
My grandmama and my granddaddy, they were all wrong.
Yeah. Like, he's like, okay, I don't have anything to say to that.
When that cognitive dissonance kick in,
yep.
Yeah.
You either listen to it or you can deny it.
Yep.
But it's real.
You have a problem. They have a problem believing they lying eyes, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, man. It's the part. We're not asking you to sit around here and change it yourself, people. See, this doesn't happen until moderate white people start to understand and speak up against it. See, none of the change happens until you people that live in your little fuzzy white bubble come out of that and say, you know what? If somebody gave me a choice of either dying or being treated like a black person, y'all probably choose dying. Like, you know what, baby? I've been prayed up. I'm going to heaven because I don't want to live. I want to live right here being a black person. Hey, man, shout out to Dwight Battle, 808 in the Beach, checking in. Our guy, Rick Davis, Metro Atlanta Cigars, is checking in. What it do, Rick? Salute to you, my brother.
Yes, sir. David Green, Ashley Marie, Rail Scott, John Robert. Yo, thank everybody for tuning in. Start that watch party, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already. Help the show go digital We thank you so much. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you right here with us talking. No justice, no peace right now about what's going on dealing with police brutality and a lot of the cases that are being highlighted in today's media. So thank you for joining. Get at us on the petty line, petty sports line at
678-871.
9602.
678-871-9602. That's all you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. Call in. What say you on any of the topics that we've discussed up to now? You know what I'm saying? I know you got something to say. We see you in the chat room. It's the few people that have chimed in. We really appreciate it, you know. So thank you once again. We on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, www.kingsbroadcasting.com. You can go on there and hit the radio link, post 880, and you can listen to us there also. So, hey, we all over the place. You don't have an excuse. Share the show. Hit that notification button and bell on YouTube and Facebook. Petty Sports, Kings Broadcasting, No Name the Podcast, 808 on the beat, Petty Sports, and watch for the hook. You know what I'm saying? We go in. You know, we got something for everybody. And we got a new show coming up here in the next week or so. A new member of the team that's joining is going to start a podcast. We think you'll really enjoy him. You know what I'm saying? Old Henry, you know. So stay tuned for that. We doing big things here, man. And this
show
COVID.
Called Old Henry?
No.
Okay. I just said no.
Oh, man. Yeah, so thank you, guys. We really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. You know, ATL, hope.
Hey, man, I got 40 minutes left.
This is where I'm at with it. In all the protests, everybody's been out. We've been out in droves. I mean, like you see in Houston, there were 70,000+ people. There's thousands of people out in every city. They out deep. I haven't heard any reports of any extreme upticks in COVID-19 cases. None of that. So, I mean, all of that being said, are we going to just go ahead and just start repacking the stadiums? Because, I mean, 70,000, that sounds like Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It holds 72,000.
That's right.
Could we get 72,000 in the stadium and everybody be okay? Because we've been social distancing for a little over 2 months. That's why I'm on Zoom.
Yep.
I'm on Zoom. Dwight's on Zoom. Nobody's in the studio.
Well, we on Zoom because we don't like Mike Bell, but that's a whole other story.
Well, because Mike Bell does too much. He be going everywhere. I can't sit in the studio with him and get COVID from that mic. Okay. But
blame me, right?
Yeah. I mean, from that mic, like MIC plus MIKE, both of them.
My shoulder's big enough.
Either one of them.
I ain't mad.
I don't want it from either one of them. But when are we going to start filling the stadiums back up? I mean, the NBA has their proposal. The MLS has their proposal. NFL is talking about having games with no fans. Everybody's talking about having stadiums with no people in them.
The MLB.
Or talking about their plans to be like, well, social distance. And then however the hell you're going to decide who gets to go and who doesn't. But if we have all of these droves of protests and nobody gets the COVID, like somebody got some explaining to do. I don't know what exactly it is, how they're not getting it, but something ain't right.
Hey,
If this is contagious as you say it is, how the hell does everybody not have it?
Well, I think the numbers, it's too early to tell. The numbers will start dropping here in another week or two. When they start another week or two, we'll start seeing new numbers, updated versions.
The first thing I did this morning when I get up, I turn on my news, and do all that good stuff. I prepare for my day. And I looked at it, I was like, 70,000. All these, man, wow. If there's not an uptick, the very first thing the government and the NCAA is going to do is safe to go to your local ballpark for football season. It's safe to pack these stands. Just wear your mask. Just do all this. Because they are not about to lose this revenue. People, don't be the guinea pig. Now, I'm just telling you, watch for the hook. They watch for the hook. We told you last week, watch for the hook. You gonna run your little narrow behind up in there, and you cheer for go team, go state, go. And the little dude next to you with the beer cough on you. of the drunk guy with the uncapped beer go to Cheers. He been drinking out of, he's spilling on 3-4 people. All y'all contaminated. Go if you like. Just watch for the hook. Hey, man. I love the fact that you ain't, you want to get out and protest and all that. I hope, in fact, that nobody gets it. But if it doesn't happen, just watch for the hook. When they do that cannonball blast at Tampa Bay Stadium, and what you think is just the ammunition that's blowing out the cannonball, that's really COVID-19 they dropped on your head.
Just shot it out.
Just watch for the hook. When you out of these hot, you out of the UGA at the hedges, and you walk through that little mister that's out there, that's COVID-19 they cooling you off with. Just watch for the hook. I'm telling
you. Yeah, y'all got it. Everybody got it.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I won't be a guinea pig. Don't count me into that. You know what I'm saying? Garbage.
You're going down to the protest tomorrow. What you talking about?
I'll be masked up. Me and my youngins, we got our masks. I already told them.
I'm going to be on Zoom for the next 3 months. I ain't
aerosol. They hit him with the aerosol blast. Boom. Everybody out there. Hey, man. It's inoculation time. I'm good. I had to go down to the courthouse the other day to get some records about my younger years as a mischief. And I saw downtown, staying at the courthouse, at the city hall, the National Guard was out the whole 9. I was like, yeah, let me get my black behind away from down here.
No, I don't do none of them.
Yeah, let me go. So yeah. I feel you. So let me ask you this, because I saw an interesting poll today that said, if you had to sign a release form to go into a sporting event, would you do so? Shout out to my guy, Maceo Hurd, for that one. I got that from him today. He asked that question. If you had to sign a release form to go into a sporting event, would you do so?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
I ain't going.
No, sir. And that's what it's all about. That's
I'm
the
not
big.
Even sure if I'm gonna go to the Hudson Grill when the football season starting. That's not even a full event. We just talking about like a watch party. I mean, that's still a big social gathering.
And that's a big sticking point for getting people back into these stadiums. See, they don't want to be held liable with these lawsuits that'll be waiting in the wings if these people get sick. You told us we could come back, but because I signed some sheet of paper saying I'm not going to hold you guys liable, you off the hook. No. We're not doing that. Not doing that. I'd rather watch. It's too easy to watch it at home. You know what I'm saying? Too easy to watch it at home.
Well, that's another thing that we can talk about as well, because what you normally watch at home is going to change as well. So now it's used to that you can turn on you Fox, watch a pregame at 11 to 12, then you watch a game. That's going to change, because now you take the fans out, you're reducing revenue. So now Fox, NBC, CBS, ESPN, all are going to come up with a pay-per-view link that you're going to pay for to watch these games. And that's going to be basically your ticket to get into a game, because they're not going to lose this revenue. They may package it as a seasonal deal. NFL may do something that releases them from the NFL network they currently have with I can't think what DirecTV. There's going to be some way that they're going to monetize it, and it's going to be based upon the television rights, because these CBS, Fox, NBC have all got, ESPN all got rights to certain games. Well, okay, that's fine, but now I also get these fans to come into these games as well from a team and a league perspective. So now we got to figure out a way to revenue share this piece. So if you're still going to broadcast a game, you're going to either get an uptick in how fans access this, or something's going to happen. And we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Like, they may do, if you pay for the NFL subscription, you get an on-field, mic'd up, access to the player. They're doing on the sideline interviews like they do in the NBA. You come out of halftime, they're doing an interview with the head coach. You look at baseball, they do interviews with the guys in the dugout and things of that nature in the bullpen. There's going to be something that they're going to have to bring to somebody to try to recoup this money that they're missing from fans not being in the seats. Not to mention the concessions, the beer sales, all of that stuff. People are losing out on that because Arthur Blank charging Chick-fil-A XYZ to have a stand inside of the dome. They don't even open on Fridays. That's a pretty penny. And people are going to start pulling out behind that. So we got to start recouping that money. And that's where it's got to come from. So the television rights is my take on it. So you turning on Fox on a Sunday ain't going to be the same no more, my brother. I'm sad to say it.
You might be right, Banks. You may have a point with that.
Hey, Maya, how you doing, love? So I mean, when you look at it, man, I just, for my take on it, and for me and mine, I don't feel comfortable yet, with going out and doing it. Even though my son plays, he'll be playing college sports here, and his scholarship, truly is dependent upon him getting his black behind on the field and playing, right? So if they open it up and they say, hey, man, athletes got to report. I have to make a decision at that point where is it serious enough for me to tell him, nah, bro, you're not going, and then we forego that. I don't think it's at that point. I just, try to equip him with the necessary tools to stay safe, right? And that's just something that we all will probably have to face here shortly. So I don't know, and if he plays his first fall game, somewhere, you can bet your sweet behind I'm gonna be down there to watch it. So.
Well, definitely watch, man, but
would you tailgate?
Ooh. No. And that's just so Fee, you say no, right? But then you say you thinking about going to Hudson Grill. So an outdoor tailgate, is it more damaging to do an outdoor tailgate with your sealed Yeti cup and your wife and you're doing that?
And you mask.
And then go to Hudson Grill and then in an enclosed environment with somebody definitely standing over you, breathing over you?
I don't think they're any different. I mean, like we go to a watch party at the bar or you go to a tailgate, it's still a big group of people out there meeting up. I mean, like, unless you're going to do your tailgate and you're like, okay, I went with my 5 people and we're away from everybody, but we're close to the stadium and we're not going to deal with anybody the entire time we're here, which is cash money bull, because you're not going to do that. If you're out there, you're out there to be in the crowd and be with the people. So, I mean, if you're good with one, you're good with the other. I'm not tailgating. I'm not watch partying either.
I think for me, outdoor events, definitely are a lot less, strenuous to me, I would say. Like I get out and ride the Silver Cumming Trail with my bike and people out there all day long, I'm weaving in and out. And I'm still, technically riding through somebody's breath path. Somebody sneezes 50 yards down the road before I ride my bike through there. Theoretically, that sneeze is still lingering in the air. I may minimize my
like 2 to 3 minutes.
I may minimize my exposure because I'm rolling right through it. But for me, that's just part of what I'll do, man, because I have to get out. I still say that cigar smoke kills the COVID. Nobody done no tests on it. None of the people I know that go to cigar spots been tested positive yet. And we've been hanging out for a long time. We've been kicking it. Like, we've been hanging out.
I just got this news flash from Petty Man. He slid this over to me, man. This was from Fox News. It was released 30 minutes ago. They're saying George Floyd was a carrier of the COVID-19, had no lung damage or symptoms. He was asymptomatic. This is what the medical examiner's office released Wednesday evening.
The independent medical examiner or the state medical examiner?
It just said the medical examiner's office. Yeah, that's probably the county, I would imagine, or the state. Okay, the state.
I mean, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. Watch for the hook. See, this is here comes the Fugate.
What he had? You put your knee on his neck for 9 minutes.
Yeah, I think we passed that part of it. Yeah, regardless of what he had, what they did was absolutely wrong.
So they don't need to even bring that. Just to add him to the stat, add him to another number to give him a check mark on the damn wall to say he was COVID positive. BS. I don't buy it.
Did you see when Ben Crump during his press conference, he said, and I don't mean to laugh about it, but he said, look, when that ambulance got there on the scene to pick George Floyd up, that was his hearse. That was his hearse. Ben Crump mentioned. Ben Crump said that in his press conference.
Listen, I said it the other day. If you watch that, when EMTs show up on a scene, they check for a pulse. If he was non-responsive, they would immediately start emergency breathing. They did nothing.
Yeah.
They rolled him over, put him on that gurney, and I told him he was dead then.
They drug him onto the gurney.
Yeah,
and he was dead.
That's what the independent examiner that they got for the family stated. He said, "Look, I can see that in the video." He said it was clear in the video he was already deceased, but technically, you can't be pronounced dead until you get to an official doctor or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
No, that's true.
EMTs can pronounce you dead. That's what the training.
No, they can't. No, they can't, sir. No, they can't, sir. They can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
You say what?
The EMT can't do that. You have to have a licensed doctor.
EMT don't do it, bro. Listen to me. I'm there. They don't do it, bro. They walk off and wait till ME come or the body goes to the hospital. That's when it's.
So if an EMT show up and you non-responsive at your house, they're not gonna pronounce you dead there on the scene.
They
can say you were dead.
They can dictate whether you continue to try the life-saving procedures, but they cannot give you a time of death.
I'm not talking about the official time of death. What I'm referring to is this. So now
I said technically. That's all I said technically they couldn't pronounce him dead until he got to the hospital, but the independent examiner said he was clearly dead on the scene.
So watch this. If they can't pronounce him dead and they think that the EMTs are now liable because they showed up on the scene and they did not do emergency breathing and try to restore his breathing on site. They never did any of that.
They did. They got him in the ambulance and they used the defibrillator. They tried several times to shock him back. They tried to bring him back. They got no.
When the last time you seen that happen?
If they're gonna play that role, then what they can do on the flip side of it is act like, he didn't die because of the knee, so it wasn't a murder.
They're required to make an attempt before they just say, hey, okay, this is we call 48, signal 48.
And I'm not saying that they did that to try to create a narrative that he wasn't dead before he left the scene. I'm just saying technically, you know what I'm saying? It's clear that he was dead. I mean, that was obvious on the scene, and they couldn't revive him in the EMT.
I see it all the time, man.
And when he got to the hospital and they saw him, they was like, "Look, he's dead."
Yeah, I've seen him.
So you've seen it. You've seen it where the EMTs show up, you non-responsive, and they don't immediately begin emergency.
If your body is still warm, it's about temperature, bro. If your body is still warm, they will attempt to try to find a pulse. That's due to the defibrillator or trying CPR. We went to one the other day and the body was cold to the touch, and that's when they'll just walk away and wait for you to bring the ME in.
No, what I'm saying, I get that, but they don't roll you over into a gurney and then put you on a truck and then drive away before they start trying to render emergency breathing. They do it right there on the spot.
They know at that point is the best thing for survivors to get him in that truck next to those machines, to get him hooked up to things to try. They couldn't do anything on the street like that, man. They have to go ahead and put him on the gurney and get him in that truck to get him on the machines and try.
That's amazing, because just over a year ago, I ran across a guy that was passed out in the road. I started CPR. When they got there, he still was basically non-responsive. They hooked that big ass compression machine up to their shit. They put that breathing machine on his mouth. They put him on that gurney and they took him off at that point.
Big pump thing on the chest. That's their attempt.
Well, see, he was still alive. He had a pulse.
No. I was doing all the breathing and the heartbeat for him. He ain't had no pulse. Now he wasn't cold, but when they got there, they put that big ass strap, that thing that did emergency shit, and they put that breathing, and they put him on the gurney and took him off.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
It's definitely a thin line, a gray area now where they know that they have to attempt to do it. But
I got it.
It's been instances where, like I say, I've shown up to homes or residents or even like old folk home, and they come in there and they be like, oh yeah, you know, they don't do anything. But there's been some where the body cold to the touch. I mean, cold is warm, still warm, and they feel like it's been within a 30, 15 minute span. Dude, they'll hook you up to the gurney and take you out to the damn hospital, and it'd be the doctor to say, okay, now he's gone. I mean, they don't determine you're gone. They can only say, okay, at this point, it's really no life-saving measures, but the doctor's the one, or ME, that'll show up on the scene, depending on what your situation is, to say, okay, this person.
Well, either way, COVID ain't got shit to do with it.
Right? No. They just really. He was asymptomatic.
His lungs didn't show anything.
His lungs. Only way they found, they did the test in his throat. They swabbed his throat, and that's how they found it. But then that story that I just read didn't say that they were trying to curb the story to say that was why he was dead.
If anything, they was ruling it out.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I see here on the watch party say if it's a threat, they'll put him in the ambulance.
Oh, you mean like a societal threat, like the crowd around? They feel like they can't render proper services.
No, that was more tactical than anything to get them the hell away from the scene.
Now, I can agree with that. But I've also seen where they take a dead person out and then they hook up the thing to them like they still alive, so the people don't ride and they know you're dead as hell.
Oh, you talking about goddamn American Gangster?
They've done that all the time. That's
he talking about American Gangster. You know what I'm saying? Where they went up there and walked him out.
I remember that, dog. Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy, dude.
Hey,
we ain't even gonna even minimally rationalize what the hell they did.
Yeah, it really had
Yeah, he did.
It had nothing to do with COVID.
No, it was cold-blooded murder.
COVID.
Cold-blooded murder.
I told you, Dwight, they
Chauvin could have given him COVID. He might have had it. That been asymptomatic. They gave it to him while he had his knee on his neck.
You may
have.
Third
degree murder was just a start. The third degree, give him that third degree, that was just a start, just to say we indicting him. But they raised it to second degree. That's probably as far as it's gonna go. And they gave them all the probable cause to get those other guys.
They can't give him first degree, but he could absolutely get second.
He didn't wake up talking about, hey man, I'm finna kill a black man today. So they can prove that, which they probably won't.
Or can't.
They do have negligence and a bunch of reckless conduct and a bunch of stuff that makes it felonious and homicidal in nature.
Yeah.
So these boys, I mean, second degree, what you're probably gonna get because he's
and it'll stick.
Yeah, because he it's different than somebody shooting up a damn school and then you go to his house and find whether he was gonna do that. He woke up that morning and said, "I'm gonna do this shit."
He had a manifesto.
Correct.
So the fact that he had a "Make America Great Again" hat, that mean he had a predetermined disposition against black people.
But they will have that. The second degree is gonna be, if it's anything like Minneapolis, anything like Georgia, that second degree is the thing where they're looking at, just like what me and Mike looked in the studio the other day, was he knew by applying more pressure that would kill him. His actions, looking at that video, saw that he was repositioning himself. He had his knee in his back, keeping his lungs from bringing in more oxygen and no pressing down his neck would kill him. He knew that. There's no way that's what's got the second degree. That's what made it elevate. Actually, that damn autopsy probably what
secondary autopsy, because the first state autopsy didn't have anything.
They were covering up for that dude, man. But that family when they got that autopsy, oh yeah,
Well, being Crump paid for that.
Correct.
Come out of the settlement. It come out the settlement.
But it's amazing how you got two medical examiners that come to two different conclusions. Oh, yeah. Clearly, the state medical examiners trying to, or I don't know if it was the county that did the initial one, but they trying to cover for the cop. They try to cover for him. They try to give him some cover, and that's not that's not an anomaly. That happens on the regular.
It's a learned behavior
where MEs fudge the report to make the officers have no liability.
Let me get back to sports, man. Let me shut up.
Yeah.
It's a fudge report. Hey, so Fee.
Yes, sir.
We talked about it, had a heated debate a few weeks ago about the NBA. Looks like it may be going to Florida.
Man, going to Florida, talking about Disney World.
Yeah, we talked about this. I didn't think it was going to happen, but you said, hey, man, this is a proposal.
22 teams. 22 teams going to play in Orlando. 13 from the Western Conference and 19 from the Eastern. I was a little thrown off by the fact that why are there so many more Eastern Conference teams than Western? Only thing I could come up with is there was like, okay, any teams that are more than 7 games back don't count.
Well, more than 7 games back. They didn't contribute to you, and they said, hey, we're gonna leave y'all sorry ass at home.
Well, they say they're gonna play 8 regular season games, so 7 games back. That gives the Phoenix Suns a chance to come back That gives the Washington Wizards a chance to come back. But there's only one Eastern Conference team that fit the criteria outside of the actual teams that were qualified for the playoffs right now to even make this. So that's why they brought in 5 extra Western Conference teams and only 1 from the East.
Well, I think you had to do it that way. And then I think they're also throwing away the East and Western Conference thing, right? Is that what
they didn't say that they're doing that. They molded over, but I don't know if they're actually going to do that.
But here's the thing, though, right? Our Atlanta Hawks and Chicago Bulls ownership group is like, hey, we want to participate. What the fuck is wrong with the Hawks?
Hey, he said he want to get our young guys some darn experience.
You ain't getting no experience with 8 games, and you so far out of this shit.
Hey, man.
Fucking up your draft. You fucking up your draft stock. Sit your dumb ass down.
It ain't about the draft spot at this point. It's about just getting your guys some reps out there in that playoff atmosphere.
Nah, you about to goddamn get Lloyd Pierce. Lloyd Pierce gonna get fired anyway. So, hey, man, just go sit your ass down. Trae Young fuck around, turn her ankle. Hey, man, sit your ass down. Be done with this thing. Y'all done. Y'all had it. Didn't work.
Well, for me, I don't know which one are you watching. If the seasons overlap with football and basketball, which one are you watching?
Yet, Mike.
Hold on. Let me give you the whole rundown first.
He be rough with it.
But Mike always be like 15 steps ahead of us. Like, you know what we're gonna talk about? Sit your ass down, Mike.
Well, it's in the same sentence. I didn't know
it ain't.
No, you be jumping ahead.
I know. Reading is fundamental.
I like it. Okay, how about that?
Calm down. You see how I'm talking about this and fixing the drink at the same time?
Multitask.
Let me give you the rest of this info. It's an 8 regular season game thing. What they're gonna do? Each team that's in is gonna play 8 more games. They'll start tip-off July 31st. If they actually do it, because they're going to vote on it tomorrow. If they do, and the thing goes all the way through, Game 7 of the finals will be October the 12th. So they will ride it all the way out till October. So once they vote on it, what we looking at, the extra teams, we got the Portland Trail Blazers, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, the Phoenix Suns, and the Washington Wizards are the other teams that just kind of just moseyed their way on into this whole format.
You say the Grizzlies too?
Yeah. No, the Grizzlies are the 8th seed.
Okay, all right, okay.
If the playoffs started today, the Grizzlies would be in.
All right, gotcha.
So, yeah, man, I guess I would just have to add in that I left out, like, who actually had made the playoffs. I mean, we all know the Lakers and the Clippers are 1 and 2. But then you had the Nuggets, the Jazz, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Mavericks, and the Grizzlies. Those are the top 8 Western Conference seeds. You look on the East, it's not so diverse. I mean, you got the Bucks, the Raptors, the Celtics, the Heat. That's the top 4. Then you got the Pacers, the Sixers, the Nets, and the Magic. The Wizards sit at 9, and they're 24 and 40. So, I mean, the 9 seed in the West has a worse record than the 13. I mean, the 9 seed in the East has a worse record than the 13 seed in the West. The Phoenix Suns are 26 and 39. They have a better record than the Washington Wizards, but they're ranked 13th in the West, and the Wizards are 9th in the East. So I mean, they took into consideration that the Western Conference is way better than the Eastern Conference, but I think they also took into consideration what teams they are and what players play for these teams.
For sure.
The Pelicans are in the 10th spot, so they're like, man, we want to get Zion in there. Portland is in a 9th spot, so they're like, yo, we got to get Dame Lillard in there. The Kings are in at 28-36, but if you look at 9 through 13 in the West, Portland is 29 and 37 at 9, and Phoenix is 26 and 39 at 13. So only 2 Western Conference teams aren't in this equation.
Right. But you gotta sell tickets.
Hey, they got to. I mean, like Orlando, like maybe Florida is the destination for everything to go down, apparently.
You open up the beaches in Daytona, you might well open up the goddamn Disney.
Yeah, man, I can't be mad at them. Hell, I just came back from Florida.
So you know then.
They opened up the beach for me too.
There
I was in the
is.
water.
So yeah, so now is Disney still the proposed location for this?
Yes, it is.
And so you start out in July. Is that what we're saying? July through
July
October.
31st, the very last day of July, they will start.
Well, so August through October the 12th, right? A month and a half, 50-some odd days of seclusion.
About 2.5 months.
Yeah, okay. So 2.5. You think the NBA and those players are going to be able to do that for so long?
Hey,
Then are you secluding the staff? And then how does that work? Because now you tell a guy who's an NBA guy, you can't go to the local McDonald's. You're just on this compound. You can't bring your family with you because your family may infect the other players. So
I think the only NBA player that would be affected by them saying you can't go to McDonald's is Joel Embiid. None of the rest of them have a diet that's that terrible.
Now, what was the guy that said he had a compromised immune system that he may opt out of this? There was a guy,
Larry Nance.
Yeah,
Larry Nance. Yeah, Larry Nance Jr. said he had a compromised immune system.
Cleveland's not in the equation, so it don't matter.
So yeah, there you go.
Like, y'all, your record isn't good enough. Doesn't matter. You can go sit home.
Well, and I think you posed a good point, Banks, when you just mentioned about the staff. That would be crazy to not quarantine the staff as well. They have to be on the compound and agree to it, I guess, I would imagine, to those terms to stay on the compound and be quarantined just like the players.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
The staff. You think about all the production people that go along with an NBA team, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's
trainers, cameramen. That's the NBA side of it, right?
Yeah.
Then you look at the hotel staff, the maids, the cooks, the maintenance people. Anybody can come in contact with one of those players.
Yeah,
will have to be, for lack of a better word, secluded.
That's a sticking point, I would imagine.
Yeah, and you literally paying the maid $100,000 for 2 months. But you can't tell me that I can't go home for 2 months and I'm just getting paid the same $10 an hour.
But you know they ain't gonna give them $100,000. Like they might.
Well, I'm just saying,
I'll give you 20.
Yeah, like it's got to be some incentive behind, and that hierarchy behind it. Like if you in housekeeping for 2 months, you're gonna make $20,000, but you got to stay here on campus. You got to stay here in your room. That you're not allowed to go. If you're a cook, you're making $20 an hour, but we're gonna give you $30,000 for the next 2 months. Like it has to be some major incentive for somebody to say you got to leave your kid for that in order to make this money.
I mean, for the payday that the workers would get, it's worth it.
And let one person get sick during that entire time, boom, it shuts the entire operation down.
Whole thing.
Everything gets shut down.
Well, they're going to be the guinea pigs, the first ones, I would imagine. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Like I say, watch for the hook.
Yeah.
To your point, Mr. Malcolm Martin Bell. Them stretching the NBA season into October is a major conflict with the NFL and the NCAA. I mean, if you're trying to have that many games in that short span of time, that means you're going to be playing damn near every day. So where do we get to the point where now you're going to make me choose? Because personally, if you make me choose between watching an NBA basketball game and an NFL football game or a college football game, depending on the college matchup, I'm going to watch the football game. I might take you over a college game because the college game might not be good because there aren't, like, the college football games, like, they don't play the major matchups every week. There might be one game. But as far as NFL, every single week, I'm watching NFL over you. And every industry, like every entity in TV knows that you do not compete with the NFL. No one can compete with them.
So the NFL currently has Sunday and Monday locked down. They have Thursday night lockdown.
Sunday, Monday, Thursday, done.
And then now you take in college football, and they're going to take Saturday afternoon,
have
and
some major
Saturday
matchups that you're going to have shut down.
Yeah. So where is it that? So the NBA is going to have to say now. The beautiful part about it is, if you got a flex schedule come playoff time, you can kind of manipulate some games, to do it that way to kind of capture some of that audience, right? But your standard, format for doing playoff games is going to be kind of thrown off a little bit. And you're going to have to compete on either that Saturday or that Sunday. And those Sunday afternoon games, those double hitter with the Eastern and Western Conference game, or Sunday afternoon game, that's a wrap. But you're not going to be able to do it. Like NFL reigns supreme, and you're not going to be able to do it. Now, regionally, right? In the Southeast, you cannot compete with Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Clemson. You can't compete with them. So ain't no sense of you even doing that. Then the fact that the Hawks not going to be in it, or anybody on this side of the state going to be in it, you're done there as well. So you're going to be relegated to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Well,
and college football. Saturday. And college football, I think they run some Friday night. They may even run some Friday night games this year.
Pac-12 plays on Friday night.
Yeah. So
I think it's early enough in October for basketball to maybe, because we still don't know what the format's going to be for football, whether it's going to be a pay-per-view scenario, whether they're going to make people pay for packages, or how they're going to do with the basketball. Are they going to air on regular TV or not? But
basketball don't have that kind of weight.
If the NBA is playing, then the NFL is playing. And if the NFL is playing, we're watching the NFL.
Well, I mean,
you can give me the marquee matchup. So check it out. Look at it like this. If the Lakers and the Bucks are playing on Sunday at 3:00, but I look at the schedule and be like, I got Kansas City versus Baltimore on Sunday
at 4:00.
I'm going to watch the first 35, 40 minutes of this basketball game. And as soon as the Chiefs and the Ravens come on, I'm watching their football game. I don't want to see you.
And that's what it's going to come down to. People picking their favorite
teams versus their best two teams don't equal out. I'm watching a football game.
Well, that's for people that are avid football fans. You still have people that I know basketball fans that don't like football, and vice versa with the basketball. So
that's a lesser population.
Well, I'm just saying the point I'm trying to make here is people will have
the ratings, the revenue, and everything says that the population that likes basketball more than football is smaller.
I get your point with all that, Fees, but I'm just simply saying it's a choice. People are going to pick, like what you just said, their favorite team.
They're going to watch football.
They're going to watch. Some people are going to watch football if they like the matchup. Some people are going to watch the basketball if they like the matchup, and some people are going to get
football.
Some people are going to go back and forth the whole game.
Most are going to watch football.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We don't
have to see. Well, the ratings have shown you over the past couple of decades that more people watch football than anything else in life. Nothing competes with football revenues and viewership.
But it's a playoff atmosphere. This is still early in the football season. It'll be a playoff atmosphere for basketball. So it's not like a regular season game. So it has a little more weight in that regard. Plus, like I said, the NFL will just be getting started for the most part. And with the NBA just ending.
We halfway through the season.
I think
literally.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think it's an option that people would love to have.
October 12th, we're about week 7.
I like both, so I'll be back and forth to both, especially with the matchups.
We know you like both, and multiple teams in both.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
You have 13 teams in 2 sports.
Hey man, shit, I can't lose, bro. I'm gonna like basketball and football at the same time.
This is what we do now.
Basketball and football at the same time. As a fan, I'm ecstatic. I love it.
You like that? Oh, that's my team. That's my team.
I mean, what basketball should do, cut it to 16, give me the 8 from the East, 8 from the West, then start on July 31st like what you want to. Scratch those 8 games. That'll cut you back to mid-September to when you end. So you're only overlapping with maybe the first 2-3 weeks of the football season, get your season out of the way, and then you can start your season back at Christmas when you should have been starting anyway.
Only way it works now, and I keep harping this about baseball, right? If you become more fan friendly, like the NBA is going to find a way, because then the NBA has been promoted as the fan friendly the player friendly league, right? So now these games are going to be serious games, going to be this, but now I'm going to be able to hear LeBron James talk trash on the court. I'm going to be able to hear, with the Greek Freak and, or some of the things. I'm going to be up close and personal with all this stuff. And that may pull some people in because they got to become more creative, because it's going to be an empty freaking gym. Have you ever been to Disney? It's just a regular gymnasium. But when it's empty, you hear all the shoes scrape, back up. You hear all of that.
AAU gym.
Yeah. So now you got to incorporate these things into this thing, right? To where now the fans feel like they are really a part of the action. So that brings to another point. Reporters. The reporters covering the games are going to have to be secluded. We didn't talk about that part of it. So they got to do something more to it, man. And in order to compete with the NFL, and even if the NFL doesn't have any fans in the stands, it's a disproportionate amount of people that prefer the NFL over any other sport in the Americas, right? And that's the part you got to deal with.
What are they saying? You got any responses to what we just talked about in the chat room? I got a few over here.
I got some say Mike Bell is crazy.
I see Sherrick. Anybody know Sherrick Monsieur? It says, I'll be watching the basketball games. Mike Davis says NFL above all.
She won't be watching the basketball game. She'll be over here at my house watching football with me.
Well, I'm just reading the text. I mean, the chat room, man. That's all. I'm just reading what's in the chat room, man.
You asked me if I knew who it was. That's who's in the pictures with me on the beach.
Yeah, well, all right.
Whoa.
She watching football.
Okay, hey, brother. You ain't got to go into all that.
That's all I'm saying. But Sharella says they should cancel and start over in October. Just scratch the whole NBA, start it back in October.
I said that a long time ago, right? That's what I've been saying. Scratch the dang on season, man. It's a wrap, man.
But like you said, nobody wants to miss their revenue. Clearly, they see some type stream of revenue to where they can come up and not let this whole season be a wash, especially with the playoffs being that close. So maybe it's worth it for them. Yeah, I would, like I said, as a fan, I would enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? You
just don't want to ever have a season where you don't have a champion, and I get it. You just don't want to have a champion that's that hasn't been crowned. So however truncated that season may look, you kind of go with what you have, and you do your best case to kind of put the best talent on the field, on the court, in order to give the people what they want. I just don't feel like going head to head with the NFL would be a smart move. But hey, the NBA got smart guys over there, right? And like you said, bringing in the Zions and all that was part of that thing. Like, hey, we got to bring in as many of our superstars.
That's right.
In order to do this,
they played plenty enough games.
But we know that.
In 1999, they only played 50 games. A lot of teams right now have played like 60 to 65 games through the season already. Some teams play 64, 65. So, hey, you played damn near the whole season. You don't need to play any more regular season games. Just go ahead and start from the playoffs.
Well, you have to because
nobody discredits San Antonio's 1999 championship because they only played 50 games. We're not worried about the rest of the regular season. They play too many games anyway.
But here's the difference, right? You've been off for 55, 60 days at this point. People are rusty. You hadn't had a team workout, things of that nature. So instead of you jumping right into the playoff, you give teams with an 8-game schedule to kind of get their legs back underneath them, get their seeding together, and then you go in and play from that point. I think that's
Petty Man got something.
Just go in and play.
Now the question is to you saying with the season being short like that, do you give the champion of this alternate or this altered season like an asterisk beside that championship, or do you feel like it's a champion? It's a champion. Doesn't matter. Do y'all feel like, oh man, you just won the Corbett season?
No, it's championship is a championship.
Well, the playoffs are going to determine the champion anyway. And like you said, there's only like 16 or 17 games left. The seeding was the seeding. There wasn't going to be much much jockeying for
we'll,
positioning before this playoff started.
We'll pretty much opt to almost get a team out of these 22 teams that you didn't even expect to go to be in the finals. You don't think, right?
Not really.
At this point, everybody's kind of on even.
If they're still playing 7-game series, I don't care how long you've been off for, how long the hiatus has been. You play 7 games, the better team is going to win because everybody's had the same amount of damn COVID time to sit down and get their legs turned into noodles.
Nah,
so this team is better. They're better.
Listen, LeBron is going to be at a distinct advantage at this point because now he's not going into it fresh off of a season run, going into the playoffs. You've given this dude 60 days to goddamn relax his legs. You basically giving him a quarter, a third of the season, a quarter of the season, whatever it is, to just fucking relax. Get back healthy.
Mike Davis said, do you think they're trying to save the season for LeBron?
Hell yeah, but that's what we listen. If he wins, be prepared for all LeBron haters and the asterisk G at that point, the asterisk thing to come out where he won it when he had a week, he had 2 months to rest. Yeah. And well, everybody had the same 2 months like he said.
It's gonna be that asterisk. Don't think they ain't gonna put no asterisk.
But that's the thing now. Like he said, they didn't do it to San Antonio. It's the NBA champion. And
they played more games this year than they did in '99. You can't give him an asterisk.
I promise you. I'm going to tell people like this, that the amount of minutes that he had to put out there to get them where they are, he is definitely a beneficiary of this break. Now, don't get me wrong. This is like an extended all-star break. He's fresh than a motherfucker. He finna come out and run through this shit.
3 minutes, guys. Time to wrap.
He finna run through this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Check it out, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody for coming in, checking us out. Fellas on the panel, Mount Dukes came in, still let the guys know I was very touched that they value my feelings about the profanity, and I thoroughly enjoyed them tonight. And thank you.
She's very welcome.
Rock with y'all.
She's very welcome.
Rock with y'all. So y'all held it in. You know, that's what's up. Y'all know how to find me. It's your boy, Famous Fees, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I told you I finally started using it, so I'm on there. Keep sharing my video, the Tootsie Slide. It's getting a whole lot of views. Next week, I'm going to figure out what Dwight did. So I'm going to have the Tootsies playing behind me.
I got it.
For the whole show. You're going to see me and Nia crossing up, left foot, right foot, turnaround jumper, all of that. That's what we're going to do. So, I mean, hey, come check your boy out. That's what it is. Every single week, Petty Sports. Next week, Jonathan Jones, New England Patriots defensive back, 2-time Super Bowl champion, coming on for the interview. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Come check us out, baby.
So listen, man. Hey, I got your fees. I got you squared away. Mama Sharper, all due respect, we got you. I said a couple of, 4-letter words, the D and the S, I, sugar, honey, iced tea. But I got it. I worked it out. I wear my normal filth flirting, filth self, so I got you covered. Y'all see the young bull behind me? My seed, Dwight Banks Jr., on his way to Gordon State, graduating from McKeepton High School class of 2020. We salute all the 2020 graduates, man. Hey, Petty Sports is here. We kind of went off script today, but it was necessary. It was most definitely necessary. AFC West talk next week. Jonathan Jones, NFL ball player. Hey, Georgia native too. Y'all tune in. Carrollton, Georgia, where you at? Carroll County, stand up for your boy, Jonathan Jones. We gonna do this thing next week. I'm out, man. Let's go.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us tonight. The Petty Sports Wednesday Night Edition brought to you by Kings Broadcasting Studios. We really appreciate it. Everybody that started that watch party, got at us in the chat room. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate your comments. Go check us out. Some of the older shows that maybe you haven't seen on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. God willing, the creek don't rise. ATL. Hope.
Come on, Trey, here go Mr. Chocolate. I like the way you break it down. Why the stop me watching it? Laughing text, I'm liking it. Big ol' ass, you shaking big. Close your mouth and don't say shit. Been on over here to shit. Work that pole and work it well. Stacks on real girl, let me touch you. I will never tell. Security guard don't scare nobody. Damn right, I took that hoe. All this money, then hit that phone. Before what I'm doing.